Assalamu alaikum dear students. This is Sarwat Zakir, Miss Sarwat Zakir, Islamiyat teacher for O levels 2058. Today, inshallah ta'ala, I am going to tell you about the formulation of law by Quran, because usually the questions of Sharia law come in exam, and this is the part of paper 1, question number 2, because this is based only on Quran. Formulation of law by Quran. So Quran, some of the people say that Quran is itself enough for the formulation of law, and then we do not need other sources. We will integrate the other sources also, because Quran is definitely enough, but Quran needs interpretation also. When we say Quran, so we have some specification about Quran also, that the Holy Quran, being the primary source of Islamic Sharia law, has already the basic principles according to the Islamic law governing all aspects of human morality and are established. The Holy Quran, as it is the direct revelation from Allah. When we say Holy Quran, it is the direct revelation from Allah. So we should know. I will add the references which I would be telling you, I will be adding them in the description, right? You can always take the references from the description box. So this is the Quran is as the direct revelation from Allah, is also the first source of Islamic law. Quran is the first source of Islamic law, means Quran is asal of all other sources, means ijma, means hadith, ijma and qiyas, right? So as I told you in the previous video that we have discussed about the some aspects of the some commandments of the Quran, that commandments can be distributed in the Quran in two ways. Some are general and some are specific. But when we talk about the specific commandments in the Quran, we should know that the Holy Quran outlines the commandments about worship and sometimes describe its performance also. Such as when we say the worship, Allah says about Quran, Allah says in Quran about the pilgrimage. Pilgrimage there too is a duty men owe to Allah, those who can afford the journey. And about prayer, Allah says in Quran, O you who believe, when you prepare for prayers, wash your faces and your hands to the elbows, and rub your heads and wash your feet to the ankles. Now this is about the wuzu. These are the farais of wuzu which are told by the Quran. Means if you are fulfilling all these four things in the wuzu, your wuzu has been completed. Now all other things are rinsing mouth, rinsing your nose, and all other things like washing your hands at the first place and maintaining the sequence, these all are the sunnah. But if you follow all these four things, it means that your wuzu has been completed and you are eligible for offering the prayer. So before prayer, Allah had integrated it with the purity, and in purity Allah had mentioned already the four obligatory acts of wuzu. So Quran is itself formulating the law in this way, because for certain things it is providing the details also. The Holy Quran also gives details of the laws like governing affairs of people, such as financial affairs. Allah says in Quran, Allah has permitted trade. Ahallallahu al-bay'a wa harrama riba. Allah had permitted the trade and He prohibited the usury. This is the financial matter, right? Allah is providing the detail that sood is not you are not eligible to take riba, or like which we in normal words we call sood, like you are unable to take that, but trade is halal. Then crime and punishment also, Allah is making the rules for crime and punishment also. Allah is making the rule for the crime and punishments also. Allah says, we set down in the Torah for them life for life, eye for eye, nose for nose, ear for ear, tooth for tooth, and wounds equal for equal. But if anyone remits the retaliation by war of charity, it is an act of forgiveness for himself. Means definitely forgiveness is favorable in Islam, and you can forgive, but Bahral, anyway, revenge can also be taken. Eye for eye, and this is the punishment for the crime if somebody is unnecessarily killing someone. So it doesn't mean so that this cruelty or this brutality should be borne by Islam, right? So these laws are made in Islam. The Holy Quran elaborates some other Sharia law also by giving the witnesses verdicts, and it is pronouncing evidences and promises also. Allah says in Quran, "O you who believe, stand firmly for justice, giving witness for Allah, even though it may be against your own selves." Mean, if it is giving you harm, but you need to be firm in giving the witness. And whether it witness is against the rich or the poor, Allah is more worthy of both of them. Means the basic decision of Allah matters. Besides, the Holy Quran also describes the system of government. Means Allah is talking about the ruling system also. The system of government is also formulated. The laws of the system of government are also made by Allah. That how somebody would govern the state. These rules are also mentioned in the Quran, and ruler and masses and their rights and their responsibilities and financial affairs of a Muslim state. For example, about the income, expenditures, and right of poor and the rich, etc. They all are prescribed in the Quran. The study of the Holy Quran shows that the detail of all commandments is not included in it. It mostly deals with the rules and principles what help in establishing Sharia law. These principles state that law should be formulated with mutual consultation of jurists, and it should be based on justice. The punishment must not be either greater or less than the crime, right? So these things are mentioned in the Quran, and they are formulation of the law. But sometimes there are certain things which are not elaborated in the detail in Quran. So for that purpose, we need to interpret it through hadith, ijma, and qiyas. Inshallah, tomorrow we will be doing the relation of the Quran with hadith, because Quran is the asal, and 3 other sources are based on the Quran. Quran itself can formulate the law, but other 3 sources cannot formulate the law independently. They somehow needed the Quran to formulate the laws, right? And because Quran is describing some law, but hadith is opening it up. Quran is commanding about the worship, and hadith is the interpretation of that. Sometimes ijma, sometimes qiyas also. So inshallah, tomorrow we will be covering the points of Quran and hadith work together, how they work together, and then ijma and qiyas. And after that, inshallah, I will be covering the topic of Hazrat Umar, as many queries are coming to me. Many students want me to elaborate the topic of Hazrat Umar because they are facing the difficulties in the expansion of the Islam during the time of Hazrat Umar. So inshallah, tomorrow I will be covering the topic of after this Sharia law, I will be covering the topic of Hazrat Umar on the priority basis, because CIE is just approaching and students are confused about the topic of Hazrat Umar. So inshallah, I will be giving you some tips and tricks that how you can cover the whole topic of Hazrat Umar in detail. I hope this formulation of law will be helpful for you.